Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here, bringing you another video about vintage baseball cards. In this video, I'm going to show you a few cards. I'm going to answer a question that was given to me by a friend and another YouTuber that watched my last video. And then I'm going to show a couple cards for an example and ask for some help from you guys for my next project. And so first of all, I want to answer the question while I'm showing the cards that was given to me by Card Cutter Garrett. Now, Garrett's a friend, and I consider him a good friend. He's fun to be around. I love it when he does videos. And he just posed a question that he didn't know. Some of you guys will know the answer. We forget that not everybody has watched our videos all the way through. And so, so I'm going to answer this, and I'm glad I'm doing it, because there might be some of you new that are watching my collection that have been seeing me show cards that think, okay, what the heck is he doing? But first of all, I'm going to answer a question by saying my collector's journey and what I go after is I've always been a post-war Rookie Hall of Fame collector. Now, what else I do is when I started doing YouTube videos and watching YouTube videos, I saw a couple of my friends that were collecting cards that were in Mike Payne's 300 Great Cards of the 20th Century. I collect those as well, and I'm having a blast doing it. One of the other things that I go after is my friend John Wade Boggs collector. He was making a collection, a set to go after himself, and it was 100 cards for $100,000, I think. And I go after that. It gives me a fun project to go after. And so, but what the question that he asked was, okay, can you explain to me what's up with the colored tape on some of your slabbed cards? And I sure can. And, I get ribbed for it every once in a while when people mock me when they do a video or impersonate me doing a video. They always talk about this tape. But let me tell you why I do this. So let me turn this around and show you. So this card that I'm going to show you has a lot of important stuff. It means a lot to me. But as you can see here, this card has red tape, blue tape, green tape, and yellow tape on it. And so the reason I put the tape on there is to say what collection I'm going after, because I store them in Zion cases, and when I look down, I can see with this blue tape on here, that symbolizes for me that that's a post-war Rookie Hall of Fame card. Now, when I open up the case where it's, in the 1954 set, I can look down, that's one of the post-war Rookie Hall of Famers, so it makes it easier for me to grab. Now, if you also see the red on there, that red stands for, that card is also one of Mike Payne's 300 Great Cards of the 20th Century. So when I look down and see that red on there, I know that belongs when I want to get a couple of those cards out to look at. Now the green's a little bit different. See, 30 years ago, I did a poster on this 2 years ago when I started YouTube, and it's about the second or third video that I did. I explained that my wife talked me into going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art because she convinced me that there was a baseball card display in there, and there sure was. And she bought me a poster that had 20 cards on this poster, a picture of them. And that green stands for, this is one of the cards that's on that poster. I now have all 20 of those cards, but that green represents that set that I went after, those 20 great cards. Now the yellow is a little bit different, and it means a little bit more to me. That yellow stands for it's part of the Miss Dufresne collection. And one of my earliest and most watched videos that I did talked about Miss Dufresne and how I got these cards as a young 10, 11, 12-year-old kid. And it's a fun story, but I'm afraid with all the time I'm moving these cards around, I'm more afraid that the yellow is going to fall off than anything else, because I will always be able to find out if that's part of a rookie card or a 300 great card. But if I lose that yellow tape off of there, it's going to be hard for me to remember that that's part of the Miss Dufresne collection. And eventually I'll be guessing if it's a Miss Dufresne card or not. Now, I love doing that. And heck, I love getting ribbed by some YouTubers that, think it's funny. But it's a way for me to keep track of the card runs that I'm going after. Now, it's getting harder and harder for me to pick up Mike Payne's 300 great cards. I have 256 of them. So now the last ones are big cards. And I'm still going after and maybe can get one a year or two. Or, if I can trade for them. But it's harder and harder to go to a show to pick up those cards. Well, I finished the poster run, which was the green color on my slab. And I also have all 118 post-war rookie cards in my collection. So now my focus has been going after player runs. I love doing that showcase showdown with Mike Baseball Collector, so I like completing player runs. But one of the things that I'm going to ask you about is I plan to start a different run. Now, PSA has a registry called the Future Hall of Fame Collectors or Collection. And they have who they think have a chance to get in the Hall of Fame. But I looked at their cards and who they think, and they have some guys in there that's not going to make the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. And I don't need to finish that run, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to combine what John Wade Boggs fan did, and he made his own set to go after. And I'm going to do that. And I listen and I watch Cracking Cooperstown with Dom and Jake. And I don't agree with them on their stuff a lot. I don't. They're very knowledgeable and they can back it with stats and stuff. But some of the people they put out there, I could be wrong, but I just don't think they'll make the Hall of Fame. But what I want to do is I want to go back and in my mind and name the players that I've watched that I think have a chance to be in the Hall of Fame, or the players that I've read about that have a chance to be in a Hall of Fame, and maybe even the players that I like that, that maybe I know personally they won't have a chance to be in a Hall of Fame, but maybe in my mind, they compare to Hall of Famers. And I'm going to make a set of those, about 50 players. Now, here's what I mean. Let me show you some of their cards. So I truly think that Dave Parker deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But if he gets in the Hall of Fame, it's going to have to be by the Veterans Committee. So I want to make a list and go after some rookie cards of players that have a chance to be voted on by the Veterans Committee and do a run of that. And maybe narrow it down to what I think is 50 cards. Now, I don't have that list together yet, and that's where I'm asking you for some help. But, maybe Dale Murphy might make that list. I loved watching him play. His stats are nice, comparable, I guess. But if he's going to get in, it's going to be the Veterans Committee. Same way with somebody like Steve Garvey. I don't know if Steve Garvey belongs in the Hall of Fame, and he wouldn't be on my top 10 list. but he might be on my top 50 list. But also, what do you think of somebody like Thurman Munson? You know, I would like to do a video and compare Thurman Munson to other players that's in. That way I can get his card out and that be part of the list. Or even somebody like Louis Tiant. Now those are all their rookie cards. And I want to narrow this down to my top 50. And I would love for you guys to either message me and help me with that list. Not if I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me now. Heck, I haven't even done a video yet. But if there's some players that aren't in the Hall of Fame that can only get in because only the Veterans Committee can only put them in, I would like you to put that on a list or just send me that person's name. I might already have it down, but I wouldn't mind narrowing that down and going after those cards and be able to use those cards in the future to do more videos and bring attention to some of the great players that I got to watch. So let's see. I showed a few cards. I answered Garrett's question, hopefully. I didn't do anything, I don't think, to offend anybody. And I'm just asking you guys for a little help. Man, is this fun? I mean, we're sitting here talking about baseball cards, and I'm excited to start working on a new project. I want to make sure that you guys keep turning over and watching Showcase Showdown. We are having more of a blast now, and that's on Baseball Collectors channel, and it's Showcase Showdown. But we're having a blast, and I think if you watch it, you'll see how much fun we're having. And this is a great time of year for me. The Royals have their magic number down to 2 to make the playoffs. It's been a historical year. The White Sox have been terrible. We now are in football season, college and pro, and just what great time to be a sports fan, and great time to be a baseball card collector. But guys, remember, it's just a hobby. Collect what you like.